didn't sleep in a tent last night, and I didn't have to go in a porta potty, so that's more than my wife can say. She's hanging out at Oshkosh still. There's a special place in heaven for people who stay at Oshkosh all week with two kids, especially the little one. She's our princess, and the tent thing really isn't her. But here's Thursday at Oshkosh. I've been getting the updates from the kids. It was a good night air show from what I was told. My daughter loved the sparkly airplanes. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day at Oshkosh. It's the Apollo reunion. This was the commemorative patch that the EAA put out for the reunion. I guess there's a lot of symbology in this patch. I'll hopefully be able to talk about that later. Pretty long day of flying, and then back up to Oshkosh and the porta potties and the tents and the kids. Oshkosh is almost over, and we'll start the countdown again till next year. And next year I'm taking my own airplane up there. Wasn't able to do it today, had a little bit of a maintenance issue. Nothing big, just something that we couldn't fly the airplane up there with. And the airplane is from Europe, so getting parts or even tooling is a little bit of a challenge. So Dallas during Oshkosh. Oh well. Like I said, if you have to miss Oshkosh, it's best to miss it because you have to fly. So last night I did something either incredibly stupid or incredibly hardcore. After I landed, instead of going home to sleep and coming up to Oshkosh the next day, I actually just drove up here and got into camp about midnight last night. Today's Friday. It's gonna be our last day of Oshkosh, but today is the big day that we've been looking forward to, because today is the day of the Apollo reunion. So I've been looking forward to this since they announced it a few months back. Ironically, we have to pack up camp and drive back to Illinois, where we're gonna camp with the Scouts, the Cub Scouts. So it's gonna be, my wife will have stayed in a tent for a week after it's all said and done, so she's gonna deserve a spa day or something. Somehow it's gonna cost me money. One of these Mustangs fires up and it starts taxiing off, and all you can see is the top of a head. More power to him. When I was a kid, the A-26 was one of my favorite airplanes because of a little movie called Always. Richard Dreyfuss, I think it was a Spielberg movie. We found the boys. First year, we've cut them loose. And I don't see the cops, so I think they did okay. T6s here at Oshkosh.
Yeah, they need more T6s.
Yeah, the world needs more T6s. Where are you bozos going?
What?
Where are you going?
To see this Corsair runway.
Bye. Let's see what $40,000 buys you. Are you ready to go home?
No, I'm kind of not. Did we
made friends. That was fun. A shout out to our friends, Jean and Jim. Yeah.
They made a purchase this week.
They bought a plane. Hopefully they'll have it built soon. We can see it completed. Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck.
Good luck.
Pretty much it for our Oshkosh. We're gonna call it a night, call it a day, call it an Oshkosh. We just have one last thing that we have to do before we leave.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. We had a problem here. Just say again, please. Here's what we had a problem. Stand by it there, Dean. We're looking at it.
Here they are. David Hardman.
Marine fighter pilot and physicist. Apollo 7, the first manned Apollo flight. Retired Marine Colonel Walt Cunningham. Annapolis graduate, naval aviator, attack pilot, test pilot, flew 2 Gemini missions and 2 Apollo missions. Retired Navy Captain Jim Lovell. West Point graduate, Air Force fighter pilot, test pilot, master's degree in aeronautical engineering, flew Gemini 7 and Apollo 8. Air Force retired Colonel Frank Borman. Air Force and Navy fighter pilot, both. Engineer, research test pilot for NASA, flew Apollo 13, Fred Hayes. Another West Point graduate, Air Force fighter pilot, has a PhD from MIT in astronautics, flew Gemini 12 and Apollo 11, Buzz Aldrin. Air Force fighter pilot, flew the F-100. I went to the test pilot school at Edwards. He is the youngest American astronaut flying the X-15 at age 32. He was backup crews for 2 Apollo flights, but also flew Cap Commander 2 STS shuttle missions, and is the only shuttle commander to pilot the shuttle from orbit to full stop landing at Edwards manually. This is retired Major General Joe Engel. West Point graduate, graduate engineer degrees, interceptor test pilot, flew Apollo 15, retired Air Force Colonel Al Worden. Al? You know, if you like the guy next to you, you can sit next to him. If not, you can, you know.